Hey guys, it's Masterath here, and with January winding down, it's time for the final qualifiers for the Global Trophy Finals, the Global Trophy 2020.
Yeah, that's correct. We've gone through the last 3 weeks of January, picking out the top 8 teams from each continent around the world. And now it's time for our final one, the Americas.
Yes, and well, the preliminaries was very, very close.
Yeah, if that's anything to go by, we're in for a treat here for the qualifiers. I don't think it'll be as close here, but there's been quite a few surprises in the preliminaries. But we'll see if any of them are able to make it through. So far, in every continent, at least one preliminary team has made it through.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see that again this time. And odds-on's got to be the winners of that preliminary for the Americas, Barbados.
Yeah, they might have the smallest total out of everyone else. The other 3 continents, they had 43 points apiece. There was no unbeaten team this time, and they only scored 31 points. But it was just the competitiveness of that level of this year's preliminaries was so close. You can't discount them.
Yeah, exactly. But let's kick off with the Americas. First off with the dud team, Dominica.
Dominica just squeaking in right at the end. It was in their hands, but they let themselves down, and they didn't win the final. I think it was Nicaragua, or I think their final game, or maybe Puerto Rico. But whoever it was, they let it go at the final moment, and they bottled it, basically.
Yeah, and that's gotten the dud. They did outbeat Cuba to actually make it here, but still, dud's not really much better, really, is it?
Not really.
Next up, scraping through, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
They went unbeaten for the longest time out of everyone.
Yeah, I believe it was 8 or 9 matches they were undefeated for, and they went on to lose, and well, it started to go downhill from there, but they were able to pick up a couple of extra victories just to go through.
Just about in the end, yeah.
Next up, St. Lucia.
They were in 9th place at the start of the final fixture, but a massive win over Cuba leapfrogged them right the way up to 6th place and guaranteed them football here in the qualifiers.
Yeah. Next up, 5th place in that preliminaries, Belize.
Belize started off very well. They kind of slipped away towards the end, but they did get a final round fixture win over Suriname to keep them secured in 5th place.
Next up, it is Grenada. Finished 4th.
Grenada had a good start, and they kind of slipped away as well. They had a slow start and picked up as the competition went on, and they eventually finished up in 4th place. Good effort from them, and I think they'll be happy that they made it through this far.
Yeah. Next up, 3rd place, St. Kitts and Nevis.
Consistent throughout, always there or thereabouts in the top 8, and did a good job to make it this far.
Second, were first for a long time, but missed out just barely at the end on the win, Suriname.
Yeah, that final fixture really cost them dearly. They threw it away as well.
Yeah, but still more than enough to finish in 2nd place.
Yeah, absolutely.
First, the winners of the preliminaries, Barbados.
They were kind of in a bit of mid-table obscurity until a 14-0 win over Montserrat lifted them, and they just carried on winning from there, really.
Yeah, and at the moment, that's the joint record in this.
Yep, for this year's trophy.
Now we get the teams that, due to their FIFA rankings, they were able to automatically qualify for the qualifiers, kicking off with Antigua and Barbuda.
Yes, Antigua and Barbuda just squeaking in. Only recently, I think, they leapfrogged someone else, so the fact that they made it in there, fair play to them.
Next up, former, I'd say, pretty decent American giants back in the day, but nowadays, not so much, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, they used to qualify for the World Cup fairly regularly, didn't they? I remember England played them in 2006.
Yeah. It was a good time for them, but they've kind of slipped off the radar now.
Mm-hmm.
But next up, it's Haiti.
Yes, Haiti. I think, is it them who share the island with Dominican Republic, I think?
It might be, I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Not sure either.
Next up, speaking of World Cups, well, this team certainly made it to the last World Cup back in 2018, Panama.
Yes, they played England, of course, and it was a record win for England at a World Cup finals.
Yes. Next up, we have Curacao.
Curacao.
Immediately making it through.
Yep.
But since, obviously, there's no Curacao in this game, They are going to have to be replaced by another team for the rest of this tournament. And the team that is below them in the FIFA rankings is Oman of Asia.
So there you go. So they are represented by Oman this time around.
Next up, our first serving from the north of America, Canada.
Yes, Canada these days have one very bright spark who plays for Bayern Munich, Alphonso Davies. Who's a very, very exciting prospect for the future.
Yeah. Next up, it is El Salvador.
I don't really know many players from El Salvador.
Yep. And following that is Honduras. They seem to still be at war with each other.
Yeah, basically.
At the moment. But even when it comes to this, they're so close in the FIFA rankings. Honduras and El Salvador.
Yep, they just always manage to squeak in.
Next up, it is Jamaica.
They've also got some decent players these days.
Yeah, that Usain Bolt guy's pretty good.
Of course, Leon Bailey as well is a massive prospect for them, currently playing for Bayer Leverkusen over in Germany.
Next up, it is our first serving from South America, Paraguay.
Forming America's section winners back in 2009. So 11 years ago now since they won the South America section, but they always do quite well, and they tend to qualify to Paraguay, so we'll see how they get on.
Yeah, but even though with their low FIFA rankings, I'd say in comparison to everyone else. Next up, it's Venezuela.
They haven't won the America section, but they're also in a bit of a financial crisis at the moment these days over Venezuela, so hopefully that doesn't affect them on the pitch.
So next up, our second serving from North America, it's, well, the US of A. America,
Yeah.
USA.
Yes, mighty USA. They actually have finished third overall before in the finals of the Global Trophy. They made it all the way to the top four, but didn't make it to the final on that occasion, and they haven't won the America section before either.
Next up, it is Peru.
Peru also haven't won the America section, but they are a very strong team. I think they knocked out Argentina a couple of years ago as well, so they've got a decent side to Peru.
Next up, it is Chile.
One-time winners of the America section back in 2011. Chile also have won the Copa America a couple of years ago, I think, against Argentina in the final.
Next up, it is Uruguay.
Uruguay, two-time World Cup winners in real life, never won the America section in the Global Trophy. Obviously got some very famous footballers playing for them today.
And next up, the last team to not make it to the top 8, but easily had the best. Out of the teams who didn't qualify for the Global Trophy finals last time round, best FIFA rankings for them, it's Brazil.
Brazil have won the Global Trophy twice in the past. They've won the America section only 3 times, and the first time was in 2015. So they've won 3 of the last 5. They're in good form. They're also the only ever Global Trophy champion of champions.
Yes, from 2 years ago. And speaking of that, remember that all these victories and all these good runs, they will all count towards the Champion of Champions in 2022.
Correct, yes. So teams like Portugal looking pretty good considering they've won twice in this current batch of fixtures.
Exactly. Next up, it is the first team from the Global Trophy Finals last time around representing America. The shockers of them, Guatemala.
They did so well, didn't they? They did so well last time around.
Artel.
They made the top 8, which is all that mattered in the end.
Yep. Next up, it is Ecuador.
Also former America section champions back in 2007, so it's a long time since they've won one. But they're a solid team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they qualified again here.
Yep. Next up, it is Colombia. With a cough halfway through. Colombia,
these days in football, very strong team. Back in this era, not so much, but they're still a decent side.
Next up, to round off the quarterfinalists from last time's qualifiers, Costa Rica.
They're also a fairly decent side these days. They're not particularly amazing, but they've got a decent squad.
Yeah. Next up, it is the semi-finalists. First off, Bolivia.
They did really well last time, didn't they? They lost out in the end, but decent effort from them.
I've just noticed, it's the LFK cock-up! It's back!
So who was the other one?
There's 2 Perus in here.
Oh, for God's sake.
Which means that Cuba get a return!
Cuba get to be the third.
Cuba's back!
Ah.
This has been a nightmare, hasn't it?
Every single
Hey,
one.
Africa, we didn't have a problem.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Africa, we didn't have a problem. Anyway, the finalists, the runner-up from last year's America's tournament, Mexico.
Mexico, one-time winners of the America's Trophy back in 2013. They've also finished second overall in the Global Trophy in 2017, losing to France in the final. Very strong team, Mexico. They're always a dark horse. You never quite know what you're going to get with Mexico, so keep an eye out for them.
And last, but certainly not least, the winners, multiple times, of the America's Qualifiers, former Global Trophy champions as well, and the current #1 ranked team on the Global Trophy rankings, it's Argentina.
Argentina are probably the most decorated team in the Global Trophy. They've won 8 America's Sector Championships. They've won 3 Global Trophies overall. They've gone unbeaten twice. They have the most wins. The reason why they're very highly decorated as well is because back in the day, you used to have 4 qualifiers from the Americas. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So back in the day, you only had 4 qualifiers come through, and obviously they won it 8 times. So it kind of shows how many times they had to qualify and they had to keep winning. They had a bit of a blip back in 2017 and 2018. They didn't qualify at all for the finals, but they returned last year with a win in the Americas section and losing just in the final to eventual winners Portugal.
Let's go! Da, 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 da. First time this time.
Yay!
First time! Da, 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 da.
For God's sake.
Yes! Right, so here's the matches we kick off with. Suriname versus Uruguay.
Okay.
Colombia battled Chile.
Ooh.
Panama get a bye.
Get a bye.
They get a bye in the next round. They got Cuba.
Yep.
Peru have Antigua and Barbuda.
Ooh.
Honduras have got Barbados.
Ooh.
And the winner of that match battles El Salvador or Argentina.
At least Argentina and Brazil are kept separate.
Yeah, they are actually kept separate. If they will fight each other in the finals if they both keep winning, because the other 2 matches are Belize, St. Vincent, and St. Lucia, Venezuela.
Wowee, so thank God we might get them both through for a change.
We might do, but there's no Mexico either.
This is true. This is very true. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Suriname, Uruguay to kick things off.
Uruguay win for me.
3-0, Uruguay through. Suriname did all that work, but not enough.
Yeah, not enough. They get a tough draw in Uruguay, so that's a shame for them.
Colombia, Chile, big crunch match here.
Big crunch match, but I'm going to go for a Chile win.
Colombia win 1-0. Chile out in round 1.
It's a shame for Chile. That's very unfortunate.
Panama now gonna get their gonna go through to the second round. They could do it.
It's unlikely, but they could.
It's certainly, well, Guatemala we thought it was unlikely. They were the ones that got the bye last time round, I think.
Yep, very true.
And well, it's Mr. B. Ron, the referee.
Ron.
It's Bob Ron.
Oh, okay.
It's like Bob Ross, but Ron.
Ron.
Bob Ronald.
Bobby Ronald, mate.
Bobby Ronald, mate. Yeah. He's the one who knocked Vinnie Jones out that one time. I remember.
Oh, I reckon he was, mate. I reckon he was asking for it.
Yeah. Well, Vinnie Jones asked for it. Bob Ron just went bang. Elbow in the teeth. Gone. Bob Ron's a hard man, folks. Do not mess with Bob Ron. Bobby Ronald, mate. Great.
Yep.
But with that, Cuba go out, obviously. Panama through to the next round.
Where they will play
either Peru or Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda barely making it through the with their FIFA ranking, but it's for nothing. Peru, the winners, only by 1-0.
Quite a close game, so well done to Antigua there.
Yeah. Honduras now versus Barbados.
Barbados, of course, the preliminaries winners.
And they've beat Honduras!
What a result for Barbados. They've got a chance here to qualify.
Well, they've got either El Salvador or Argentina. Let's be honest, it's Argentina.
It's still a chance.
6-1 win for Argentina there.
Dominant display from Argentina there. What a win for them.
And just like that, the two countries at war have been knocked out in the first round.
They can go back to fighting each other.
There you go, yes. Well, they did fight over football before, so they can fight over it again.
Yep.
And say, oh, you lost to Barbados. Yeah, well, you lost 6-1. Yeah, we lost to Argentina, though. And then the war will begin.
Yep.
Belize now battling St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah, two preliminary qualifiers.
And Belize get the win. St. Vincent, the first of the Saints to fall.
Yeah, they just about qualified, so I think it's only fair.
St. Lucia now battle Venezuela.
St. Lucia also qualifying in the end.
Venezuela win 4-2.
So Venezuela through to the last 16 of the Americas section.
Yep. Next, it's Dominica versus Guatemala.
Guatemala last year making it to the top 8.
And they've made it through 2-0.
Well done to Guatemala there.
Next up, it's a North American clash. Canada versus Mexico.
Mexico got to be the favourites here, surely.
Mexico go through 2-0.
Easy win for Mexico there, well done.
Ecuador now battle Haiti.
Ecuador are probably the favourites for me.
1-0. Barely going through is Ecuador. But through nonetheless.
It's enough for them.
Trinidad and Tobago now battles Grenada.
Tough match here. Grenada, of course, have to pre-qualify.
And they've knocked out Trinidad and Tobago.
Well done there. Well done, Grenada.
Grenada going through. Next up is Jamaica versus Curacao. And Jamaica knocked them out in the first round.
Ah, well done, Jamaica. Well done.
Costa Rica now battle Bolivia. Two teams who made it to the Global Trophy last time round.
They did indeed.
Bolivia win, but it's penalties that decides it.
Doesn't matter how you win, it's just that you win.
Next, Paraguay, Brazil.
Two big teams here.
Brazil barely making it through, 1-0.
Out go Paraguay, the former winners of the Americas section.
And it's America going against St. Kitts and Nevis.
It's a big match this for St. Kitts.
3-0, America go through.
To play Brazil.
To play Brazil in the second round.
Did they really want to?
They could produce the shock here.
They could do it.
Certainly could. Uruguay, Colombia is first to kick off. Big crunch match.
Big crunch match to kick things off in the second round.
Colombia knock Uruguay out.
And through to the final 8 go Colombia. Well done.
Yeah, for another year for Colombia there. Panama have got Peru.
This is a big opportunity for Panama.
They beat them on penalties. Panama's through.
Unreal.
And Panama knock Peru out.
That's a big shock for me. That's a big shock.
Barbados now take on Argentina.
If Barbados wins this is the ultimate shithousery.
Nope, Argentina win 11-0.
It was a good effort from Barbados, but you can't really complain about going up to the best, can you?
Exactly. Belize now versus Venezuela. Can Belize do it? They have! Belize are through!
There you go. So in every continent, at least one preliminary team have gone through.
Yeah, Guatemala now battle Mexico.
Surely Mexico will win this one.
8-1 Mexico. Mexico
Dominant.
through. Guatemala fall at the second round.
So the big names have all gone through so far.
Yeah, bar Peru, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I'm probably Venezuela, actually, but Belize, very plucky team.
I'd say Uruguay as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. Ecuador, Grenada next.
Ecuador for me.
It is 3-0. Ecuador through.
Well, then Ecuador there, safely through to the Global Trophy finals.
Jamaica versus Bolivia next.
This is a flip of a coin for me.
And Bolivia are gone. Jamaica's through.
Well done to Jamaica.
The penalties decide it for Jamaica. Jamaica through to the Global Trophy finals.
And finally, the USA taking on Brazil.
And Brazil are gone again.
No way!
And the USA knock Brazil out in the second round.
Unbelievable scenes.
Brazil fall again.
They haven't qualified for the last 2 years.
Yeah, but they're not going to. Then they have not qualified. The USA go through.
What a stunner that is from the US.
So here is the top 8: Colombia, Panama, Argentina, Belize, Mexico, Ecuador, Jamaica, and the USA.
What a stunner.
Argentina. It looks like an Argentina-Mexico final. This does.
It really does, but you never know. There are some fixtures in there that could surprise us.
It certainly could. Colombia take on Panama first.
Colombia for me.
The run continues for Panama.
What a story this is from Panama.
Another penalty win. Panama through to the semi-finals. Argentina, Belize.
Surely an Argentina win.
12-0 Argentina.
Goodness me.
Dominant again from the Argentines. Mexico now battling Ecuador.
For me, it's Mexico's win.
It is. Penalties decides it, though. 1-1, but Mexico through to the semi-finals.
To play Jamaica or the USA?
Which of these two is going to make it through? It's the USA into the semis!
They're having a great time, USA.
A 2-1 win against Jamaica. Panama, can they kill the biggest giant in the global trophy in Argentina?
No, they can't.
They can't. 5-0 Argentina.
Easy win for Argentina through to the final.
Mexico now battling the USA.
I tell you what, I don't think either of them want to play Argentina, to be honest with you.
Well, the USA seem to. They've knocked Mexico out.
That's a shocker again.
The USA have got Argentina.
Can they do it?
No, Argentina win again. 4-0.
Did they even let in a goal?
I don't think so, no.
What an astonishing run from Argentina to win the 2020 America section. Now 9 times America's champions.
You've got to give it, though, to the USA and Panama.
To knock out Brazil, the USA, Brazil, since winning the Champion of Champions, have not qualified for the finals. I don't think they're going to get a chance to defend their trophy.
They may not. I'll say that much. They may not.
Wow. So the USA, what a run from them.
Amazing run from the USA. But it is Argentina who will be the big team that everyone has got to watch out for, as they always are.
They're such a strong side, and surely, you know, they've got to be one of the favourites now to win the whole trophy. Surely.
You got to say that, haven't you? It's got to be.
Wow. What a stunner that is.
So, joining France, Cameroon, Nigeria, Portugal, Germany, the Netherlands, Australia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, Japan, Ghana, Morocco, Gabon, UAE, Greece, Czech Republic, Thailand, Malaysia, Kuwait, Liberia, Scotland, Slovakia and Angola in the Global Trophy Finals of 2020 is Argentina, the USA, Panama, Mexico, Belize, Jamaica, Colombia and Ecuador.
It's going to be quite the finals. There's a lot of big teams in there. There's a few big teams missing, of course. You know, no Spain in there.
No Germany.
No Germany's there.
Oh, no, Italy. No Italy.
No Italy, no Spain, no Brazil, of course, now as well.
Yeah.
But should be very spicy finals.
Is your money on this year?
It's gotta be Argentina. It's gotta be Argentina this year.
You got Argentina. Do you know what?
Yeah.
I am gonna take an outsider.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Netherlands.
I think that's a good shout as well. They played so well in Europe. They've managed to get their way to the final and win. I think as well, another team to really, really watch out for has to be Nigeria. They were so strong in Africa as well.
Yeah, they're very good, very dominant. And it's going to be so interesting. And we got to see like how teams like Slovakia and Liberia and Scotland do, and Kuwait, and now we got like Panama and Belize in there now.
But we have been working out as well who would be the dud team for the finals.
Yep, and we're going to need to find out of these new 8 teams that have just qualified to see who's going to be the dud team. But for the moment, it looks like it's going to be Angola.
Yeah, it's a shame for them after going through the preliminaries as well to qualify and then to fall out. But then this time next year, they won't have to qualify. They won't have to pre-qualify. They'll be there.
Yep, and they'll get some lovely points for being at the final in the first place. So,
yep.
It's not like it's all bad for them, but that depends. I don't know if Belize or Panama are lower in the rankings than they are.
I would maybe. Well, Panama can't be because Belize are lower. Because obviously they have to pre-qualify, so we'll have to see if it's either going to be Belize or...
No, that's from the FIFA rankings. This is based off the Global Trophy rankings.
Oh, fair enough. We'll see. We'll see how they get on.
Yep, and next week, folks, as we move on into February, it'll be the Global Trophy Finals.
It's so exciting. It's just... This is the best tournament I think we've had in quite a while. Last year was very open. This year's there's a lot of good contestants in there that could win it.
Exactly.
So,
Can
anyway.
Portugal do the unthinkable and win 3 in a row?
We haven't really talked about Portugal, have we? Because obviously they lost to Scotland in the European qualifiers. It's going to be so interesting. Interesting.
It is. Can France win their 5th global trophy? Can Argentina match France again? Can an African or Asian country for the first time win it?
We'll find out next week.
Yep, we'll see you next week for the 2020 Global Trophy Finals.